That's not clickbait. We've been lying to you.
Moving abroad is like learning to take your very first steps all over again. Documenting our journey here means sharing the ups and downs with you, and the last 2 weeks have been our hardest yet. So this week's video is a little different. Although we don't feel like we've achieved much, every day we're working towards the life and lifestyle we've been waiting so long for.
We've been lying to you. So yeah, it's true. Technically, we're not off-grid. Well, sort of. We are completely off-grid with power, that is absolutely true. However, we are on-grid for water. Now, that was not a decision that we took lightly, but there was a few reasons for it. One, we simply did not have the money to get a borehole done when we moved here like we had intended. We'd always intended to get a borehole drilled and a pump installed right from the word go the minute that we turned up. However, the finances just didn't work out that way with Kaylee's hip and everything else going on. We just simply didn't have an option. And even if we did have the money for a borehole, we honestly didn't know where we could put it yet, where it wasn't going to be in the way. We've got no plan together, and so drilling a borehole is a very permanent fixture and something that we didn't want to get wrong. But rest assured, it is top on our priority list for 2024. So in the new year, we've got some big plans that we're going to try and put in place, providing we've got the finances sorted, but we are going to try and get a borehole done as soon as possible.
It seemed like overnight summer had left us and autumn took its place. Cold nights and crunchy leaves replaced the high temperatures and mosquito bites, but with it also came the ability to work outside without the risk of sunstroke or dehydration.
So as well as the plumbing in the caravan, another thing that we've got to do is to get this water pipe under the ground to protect it from freezing. That is no mean feat. This is 55 metres long and we still haven't had rain for 2 months. So the ground is incredibly hard. So even with the right tools, hand digging it is going to be a serious task. We might have to hire a digger in to dig the trench for this. We also need to insulate and protect this from frost, because if our water meter breaks open, it's us that has to pay for a new one. Part of getting ready for winter is to fuel up our heater. So at the back of this cupboard here is our Chinese diesel heater. It replaced an original gas heater which took up the entirety of this cupboard. So we've gained all of this space here and we've got a better heating system. The ducting is connected to the original caravan system. So the original caravan had a blower on the back of the heater, and so this just ties into all of that. So all the hot air outlets in the original ones in the caravan are connected to this, and so it heats the whole caravan, including the bathroom. And we've got this 36 litre tank. It just runs on diesel from the petrol pump, and a full tank like this should last us over a month. And this is, yeah, 36 litres. Another part of getting ready for winter is to angle our solar panels. I just come up here to have a look at the angle and see where we need to be, and I've been greeted with this, which has just happened in a matter of weeks, that the panels are all in the shade. For context, it's mid-October and it's just gone 5 o'clock in the evening. The sun is still surprisingly high and we definitely could still be making more power. At the minute we're pulling about 240 watts. So this is confirmed for us. I think we need to think about relocating these to somewhere else on the land. This whole setup was trial and error. I was fully expecting to have to change things around here. So in some ways I'm quite pleased that we found this now. Yeah, something to think about. One other thing about preparing for winter is firewood. Now, obviously we heat the caravan with the diesel heater, so we don't need it for that. But we do have the Petrka or the wood burner in the workshop, and it would be nice to have a few bits of firewood that we can have to have a fire in there on those cold winter days, or when we're working in the garden we need a warm up. It's also, I want to have some firewood in stock, so if we have really cold winter, we can heat in there so that the battery and the inverter and everything is in a sensible temperature to work in. So this is killing two birds with one stone, because we've also been clearing the stream area, the driveway, other bits and pieces. All of the dead trees that we have standing, we're taking out around the front garden area as part of clearing the stream and the driveway. So this is already dead, well and truly seasoned, and it makes sense for us to get this down and get it logged up and get it in the dry after we've had like 3 months of summer sun. This stuff is bone dry and ready to burn straight away. So as you can see, I've saved even the tiniest little pieces because it all helps, doesn't it? I was just thinking as I'm doing all this, I find it funny how when they used to do this job for customers out and about, anything that would fit in the chipper we would chip. 6 inches, 8 inches, whatever the chipper would handle. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 of us pulling a whole tree into the chipper. And now I'm doing it for myself in my own garden. I'm like, oh, that's a bit of kindling now, I'll save this. Like little sticks like this, I'm like, might be useful that, we can burn that, it'll help us keep warm and start the fire. It's funny how your mindset changes when this is now yours and you have your own wood burner, and also there's no pressures on time. Time is our own here, and that is one of the main reasons that we're doing all of this, to do with our time what we wish. And if I want to sit here and break up tiny little sticks for the wood burner, I can. Although there's a lot of other stuff to do, so it's not a priority.
So, living off-grid is somewhere where you need backups. Water, heating and electricity. Let me show you. So our only backup for water is these old Devon bottles. And we're going to fill them up with water from the tap. We've got this little electric pump to connect these Devon bottles to the caravan. So yeah, we've got it. If our diesel heater breaks, we've got this, a little electric heater. We've also got this, our aircon unit. It also heats. So if the sun isn't shining, we've got our old generator that we can use for electricity. At least we've got a backup.
Right, so this is our little boiler room cupboard. I've managed to find an aluminium ducting that is the perfect size for the flue, so hopefully that will be alright with the temperatures. And I'm going to cut out the plastic top of the box just to make sure that the heat doesn't radiate through and melt any of the plastic. And what I'm doing now is I'm just mocking up where the pipes are going to go. I need a cold feed to the boiler, and obviously there's going to be a hot feed come out of the boiler, but I also need a cold feed into the caravan too. So I'm just working out exactly how I can get those pipes to work in the neatest way and leaving us enough space in here. The plan is we're also going to put a little electric tube heater in here with a frost thermostat on it, so as soon as it gets anywhere near 0 degrees it clicks on and keeps this cupboard warm and hopefully the boiler frost proof. So over here they have a very different type of plumbing, and a type of plumbing I haven't seen before. So in the UK most stuff is PEX, and over here they have basically plastic welding. So all your fittings are this plastic type and plastic pipe, and then you buy this tool, which is basically it's a huge heating element, and you melt the end of the pipe, and then on the other end you melt the fitting, and then you glue the two together. I'm not a huge fan of this system, mainly because if you get anything slightly wrong, you get about 10 seconds to put the two together and make your adjustments, and then it's fixed for life. And if you mess up, game over. Cut it out and start again. This is my first time doing this, so we'll see how this goes. I have bought extra fittings because, you know. Cold water in with the stopcock. That is the cold feed to the boiler. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bore a hole through here where the pipes will go through. So the cold feed into the caravan and the hot feed out of this one into the caravan too. Now to get it mounted. This is the heart of our hot water system, and this is an instant gas water heater. It's just basically a household boiler, but a very cheap version that's not room sealed. It's super simple. So you've got your gas in, standard gas from a gas bottle, hot water out and cold water in, and believe it or not, just runs on 2 big D batteries. That's it. We can have endless hot water showers from now on. How exciting! So this is how the setup's going to work. I'm just using Flexies because it allows us to get everything exactly where we need it, but also if this fails or we need to change anything, this is going to be the easiest way to make changes in the future, is just to use Flexies between fixed points. It keeps everything super flexible, literally. So my plan is I'm just going to line these holes up, make sure the cabinet's level, and then just mark the wheel arch for where I want to cut this plastic out. Let's get it in the gap first. Okay, go.
Oh,
yeah, it buzzes, doesn't it?
Oh, I've done well.
Yeah, keep going then. Fill this up. Favourite saying of all. Is that right the way through? Yeah? Okay. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Ooh, have we got chicken for dinner tonight?
I don't know.
Me neither. Me neither.
I'll go now, Mum.
Okay, you might be wondering, why are we going to all this hassle for the caravan? This seems crazy amount of work, and you're absolutely right, it is. But there's 3 reasons why. Number 1, I got out of the shower the other day and it was leaking. So one of the caravan pipes has rubbed through on a bit of plywood and is weeping out of that hole. This is actually a specialist bit of pipe. I probably could get that bit of pipe over here somewhere or get it imported from the UK. But with the other reasons, it made it not worth doing. Number 2, the kitchen tap is leaking as well. This turns out to be the cartridge inside, and from our measurements it is a specialist size cartridge and not one we can get over here. Third reason is the boiler in here is just a small 10-litre tank, and that has been fine in the summer, but as we come into winter there is no way that that is going to be enough water to keep the family going and showers, washing up, all the rest of it.
I'd also just like to say here that the caravan is not a short-term thing for us. We're planning to stay in here for at least the next 2 years.
So I've been working really hard trying to get some green grass for the kids to have a bit of a garden area to play in. I reckon I put 20,000 litres of water through the sprinkler on this, and it is about green, and it's time for its first cut. Let's get that done. And there we go, look, almost got stripes in the lawn. How cool is that? Oh, really happy actually. Those few patches we'd put some seed on, and the seed is growing, but it's very, very slow despite the amount of water we're putting on.
Oh.
Hello! Well, you know what I've done? I've decision not to buy my pocket money on a toy at all. A pickaxe. It's a children's one. I reckon it'll be very useful. Bye. Boom, boom, boom.
Visiting the barbers. That's my kind of fishing.
Whilst it hasn't felt like the most productive of weeks, looking back we have achieved a lot. Work has already started on the roof over the caravan and the decking, and as winter approaches we are feeling more and more confident with each and every day. So that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Psst, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me show you. Old water bottles that were just like.
Did know where we were going to put
Electric diesel heat. So if I diesel
part of, well, that'd be our heating. This is terrible, isn't it? I don't even know what to say without being boring. I just feel like everything that comes out of my mouth is boring.
So if the sun is.
So over here they have a very different type of plumbing, and Kayla, you're not funny in the background. Firewood. Obviously we